Hello guys! Welcome to your weekly music lesson. I'm just kind of getting organized over here. I hope you're all doing well. We are going to learn some music theory today. And that's just because I recently discovered this fabulous book. It's hard to read the title, but it says Introduction to Music Reading. Hey Jake! Oh, Sylvia, hi you guys! We're gonna do some music theory today. I'm just telling you the title. An Introduction to Music Reading, Concepts and Applications by William Thompson. I found this for free. So I took it along with a few other things that were just sitting there for free. I've missed you guys too. I've missed you too, Sylvia. Yay, but you know what? We're all good now. We're all together. I've brought a candle and a glorious crystal to sit here with us. So you know what? I took a picture of the pages that we're going to do today. They are on my Instagram, so it would be really helpful for you to really get the most out of this. I know 1 week has been a long time when we're doing nothing. Yeah, that's totally true, Sylvia. I've been pretty busy actually. I've been teaching online. So I've just been basically sitting here teaching for a week. But go to my Instagram, you guys, Violin Viola Masterclass. Go to Instagram and you'll see the pages that we're gonna look at today. It's gonna be really, really, really helpful for you to have these pages. So check that out. I'm going to pour myself a cup of tea while you do that. I have a beautiful teapot to show you. Hopefully I won't spill it all over myself. Oh my goodness, look how pretty it is. Hi there, Hook and Saw, you are new. I don't recognize your name, but yay, I'm so glad you're here. Maybe you're like one of those, maybe you're one of the people that doesn't comment. I'm usually like that on videos. I like watch and then I never comment, so nobody knows me. But anyway, here's the beautiful teapot. Isn't that glorious? So we have some green tea today. So let me just pour that. Well, make sure you guys you have to go to my Instagram and get those pages so that you can follow along for the lesson today, because it'll make life a lot less confusing. It's Violin Viola Masterclass on Instagram, and you'll see I've been a while. I just caught a live stream. Oh yay! Oh, it's been a while since you've been here. Okay. Well, yay! I'm so glad that you're here. So yes, as I keep saying, go get those pages from my Instagram and then we will get started. Let me just pour this tea here. It's not like so beautiful. It's nice to have a proper teapot. Usually I have, you know, my little, what is that called? French press, which works well, but it's very elegant to have a teapot. So, all right. Good morning, Michael. I'm so glad you're here. Green tea is so nice. This is sencha. You guys gotta try sencha green tea. I usually drink Scottish Highlands tea, you know, that's my favorite, with cream or half and half, always. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open up to the first page. Go to my Instagram, look at those pages so that you have them. It's on Violin Viola Masterclass on Instagram, and then you can have these pages too. So we are going to look at, it's the first page on the Instagram besides this. Oh, I know. Well, you know, my mom is English. My mom's side of the family is all English. I know. My dad's side of the family is all Dutch. So Dutch, English, and then my mom's side of the family now all live in Australia, and I actually have dual citizenship. Isn't that cool? So we'll have to go to Australia sometime, you know. I actually dreamt that I was on an airplane last night. I dreamt that we were like on this great big airplane, and I don't know if we were going to Costa Rica, we were going someplace. I know, I'm lucky. But wouldn't it be fun to go on a little trip together, go to Australia? Okay, so here you can also, here's another option. Just screenshot this. We're gonna be looking at this. Go ahead and screenshot it. 1, 2, 3. Screenshot it, you guys. You'll need it, okay? So what we're going to do for this little exercise is we're going to put the metronome on and we're going to do exercise A, and then we'll do B, C, D, okay? What we're going to do is clap with the metronome, and then we're going to sing these pitches. These are notes here, they're just rhythms. So we're going to just say la and whatever pitch it is that you can sing easily. We're going to sound beautiful together. So I'm going to put this on my stand. Let's see. And I wish I could, maybe I can kind of position you in a way that you can see the stand. Let me see, hold on. Because I really do want you to, if you don't go to, if you decide not to go to Instagram and get the pages, that's fine too. I just want you to be able to kind of see them. So let's see, move you a bit closer. Move the tea stuff out of the way. Okay, is anyone else having fun at home during this time period where we're all quarantined? It's kind of fabulous. I'm enjoying it. Okay, can you guys see this okay, or is this all backwards? Can you like give me a thumbs up and tell me yes or no, yay or nay? Okay, so I'm gonna put the metronome on. Okay. Oh, you are? Oh, good. Well, it's good. Okay, all right, cool. So let's take a look at this one right here. So let's clap with the metronome. And we're going to sing this rhythm that's on the page here. Okay, ready, and la, 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 la. Okay, did you guys get that? So when we run into a half note like this, you have to hold that for 2 clicks, right? This is a half note here. La. When we run into eighth notes here, these are twice as fast. La, 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 la. Okay? So let's try it one more time. 1, 2. La, 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 la. La, la, la. La, 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 la. Okay? So you can also play these. You could also play these. We might do that in a little bit. First, we're going to sing it. There's this amazing thing in music where if you can hear it here, where's the camera? There you are. If you can hear it in your head, if you know what it should sound like in your head, then you can bring it out of that space and bring it into reality on your instrument, right? So we have to know what it sounds like in our head. Let's try the next one. This one here is in 3/4. Okay, let me turn this off for a second, sorry. All right, you see it says basic duration is a quarter note. That's telling you that every click that you hear is a quarter note. And we have 3 quarter notes in every measure. For example, when we go down to, let's see, this one says 2, 2, which means, and you see the basic duration is a half note for that one. Do you see that? Please don't fall. Right here, this is a half note. These are quarter notes. So that means that every click that you hear is now a half note. So it's important for us to know what the basic duration is. The rest of these are all quarter notes. So let's go back to this one. Okay. Let's clap for a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, la, la. La, 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 la. Okay, I'm reading this backwards for you guys, okay? Did you guys do okay with that? I was gonna say something else. This, by the way, this is a duple meter. 2, 4, or 4, 4 is a duple meter. This one here, we could think of, I guess we could kind of think of that as a compound meter. Anyway, it feels different. Whenever I think of compound, I always think of like triplets. So I'm really not sure if this is really a compound meter because we could divide these into duples. So maybe, never mind, forget what I said. We'll get to compound meters later. But anyway, this one, you can feel, feels different than this, right? This one has this distinct 1, 2, 1, 2. That's just how we naturally group these. 1, 2. 1 is always stronger. 1, 2. But with this one has a different feel. 1 is always stronger, but 2 and 3 are less. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, right? Just in its most basic way, it's important that we understand that. That's why we have measures. Because if we had something like this, let me find you what I'm looking for. You see up here? Let's look up here. These are not notes. These are just little X's, but there's no grouping for them. They're just like a bunch of beats, like a metronome. There's no kind of hierarchy of importance of them. But once we start to, group them in measures, right here we've given them notes rather than X's now. Oops, let me see if I can turn you up just a little bit. There we go. So you see now we've grouped them in a time signature, which means that they're innately going to have a specific kind of feel. 1, 2, 1, 2, as opposed to just da, 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 where they're all the same. So the time signature is very, very important for like the concept of the feel of everything, right? Okay, so let's go back to our other page. By the way, if you're wondering what this book is called, it is on my Instagram, Violin Viola Masterclass. Go look at it. Oops. It's hard to read this writing. It says Introduction to Music Reading. Introduction to Music Reading, Concepts and Applications by William Thompson. All right? We're just doing a tiny bit of this book. I hope we don't get in trouble. I'm trying to teach you guys something, right? So hope I don't get in trouble. Let's go back to where we were. Okay, this is where we were. And what we're doing is we're practicing staying with the metronome and singing what's on the page here. Okay, hold on. I need another sip of tea. Okay, you guys still there? Here, hold on. Let's look at each other for a second. Ooh. Are you enjoying this? Is this interesting or am I boring you to death? Am I boring you? You probably have nothing else to do, right? Okay. So back to work. Let's go ahead and look at number 3. Right here, example C. See, the duration is a half note now. So every click that we hear from the metronome, and I just randomly chose 60. I just feel like that's a comfortable speed. Okay, good. All right, good. So here you've got your half notes, and you have 2 half notes, 2, 2, in every measure. Is the metronome too loud? Tell me if the metronome is too loud, okay? Let's try it. Clapping with the metronome. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, it's okay, the metronome's okay? All right. All right, last one we have, we're in 3, 4 here. Example D. Not too loud? Okay, great. Thank you. So we have 3 quarter notes in every measure here. If you don't want to clap, you can kind of beat your head. Stay with the metronome. It's very important that we always know, especially where beat 1 is. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's that. Whoops. Okay, there's one that's a little trickier. So what we're gonna do is, let's find that. Oh, here, actually, I have another little thing for you. Let's take a look at this one. Let's come really close. We're gonna sit nice and close to this one. This one is in cut time. Okay, sometimes cut time can be a little confusing. You see right here? There's a C with a line through it because C normally means common time, which is 4/4, but this is a C with a line through it, if you can see that, which means cut time. So if we would look at this measure, we would think, okay, there's 4 in a measure, there's four quarter notes in a measure, so every click that we hear is a quarter note. But if it's in cut time, it means it's twice as fast, which means that the conductor is just going to be giving you 2 beats. So really, it's kind of in like 2/2, meaning that you're going to have 2 beats from the metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, da da da, da da da, da da da, da 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 da. Okay, so that's kind of tricky with cut time. When you're playing on your own, without a conductor, it's not as confusing. Although usually the feel of the piece that you're playing, if it's in cut time, has that kind of feel. It would feel weird to feel it in 4. It would feel very pedantic. So when you're in cut time, the music itself innately has this kind of 2-ish feel. But if you're in an orchestra, or if you're counting off a group, 1, 2, you would count 1, 2, rather than 3, 4, for example. So, okay. Let me take these off for just 1 second. Oh, and another sip of tea, and then we will continue. Okay, so the next one is a little trickier. We're going to be encountering rests. And you know what? Rhythms are so important. They require control. So when we're playing the violin or the viola, we're responsible not only for the rhythm, which is the foundation of things, besides harmony, right? The rhythm is very important. We're responsible for playing with a nice sound, playing in tune, doing the dynamics, making sure that it's, sounding correct for the interpretation. So there's a lot that we are responsible for in addition to the rhythms. It's very important to practice rhythms, and I really love the hour books for that. Hour book 1 and 2 is so helpful for helping you practice your rhythms. So go get those hour books. Leopold Auer Violin Method, book 1 and 2. Just go grab those on not YouTube. What is it called? Amazon. Okay, so this one here, these practice patterns, they want you to clap with the metronome all the time and sing what's on the page here. So you see these little X's here, those are claps, and it says etc. So just keep on clapping, and then we're gonna sing what's on the page here. So just some little notes here. This symbol is a quarter note rest, which means that you're gonna just rest for the duration of one little metronome click. This over here, we are in 2/8, which means there's 2 eighth notes in every measure. 1 eighth note that you're gonna sing, and then 1 eighth note that you're not gonna sing, and then etc. But you're gonna keep clapping in 2, okay? Let's try to sing what's on the page there. And then here, this one is a little trickier. Where is that? Oh, sorry. 3/4, that's pretty simple, similar. But 2/2 here, you're gonna be looking at different symbols, all right? So you've got a half note rest. A half note has that little line above. And then the whole note rest has the little line below. So, but you can also just see, judging by what it's next to, is it a whole note rest or is it a half note rest? It's a half note rest in this case because you still have the equivalent of a half note left in that measure. So anyway, this one's gonna be a little trickier to just read. And yeah, so let's try it. It's basically similar to what we're doing, but we're dealing with rests. We're gonna go up here. Okay, so 2/4. Let's count 1, 2, 1, 2. Notice how 1 is stronger. So 1, 2, la, 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 la. And that was the first one. Did you do okay with that? Hopefully. Let's look at 2/8 here. It's the same thing. I'm going to keep the metronome here, but every click you hear is now an eighth note. All right? And there's 2 of them in every measure. Ready, and la, 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 la. Okay, I think I might have gotten lost. I might have it's hard for me to see from this angle, so I might have skipped one of these little things. Okay, so that's the idea with rhythms. And my voice is all scratchy at the moment. It's the perfect, time to be practicing singing la to the world. Okay, so I'm going to just put you back here, and we're going to do our intervals, okay? So glasses back on, a little sip of tea. So intervals, we're going to be using our lovely metronome for help with this. We are going to be learning the intervals up to a perfect fifth. Okay, so if you're one of my students already, you have an interval of the week this week to get used to singing, and it's a half step. And each week we're going to do a different interval. And then once we've gotten up to a perfect fifth, what we're going to do is we're going to practice chapter 2, and here this is chapter 1. Chapter 2 is being able to actually sing a melody. It's helping us to get a grasp of tonality, hearing the tone, the main tone, which would be the first scale degree, that everything kind of rotates around, and then the fifth scale degree, which is kind of the second pillar that everything rotates around. So the practice rhythm, the practice melodies that they're giving us in chapter 2 are all kind of within a perfect fifth. And a perfect fifth can also be the same note, for example, C to G. G could be the lower version of that too. It's just a perfect fourth down. But anyway, the notes that they're using are pretty much within that range. And why is that? It's because our human voice doesn't have a crazy range of pitches. we kind of are it's easy for us to sing within a smaller range of notes. So perfect fifth is a great range for us. But anyway, so what we're gonna do now, you can grab your tuner if you have one, and don't turn it on now. But what we're gonna do is we're going to practice singing a half step. And you know what? So that we understand what I'm talking about, because maybe some of you don't know what I'm talking about, we're gonna just make a little list of intervals here. So let's see here. So over here, we're going to call these, let's see, we'll call this a half step. We could think of it as 0.5, and it sounds like Jaws. Okay, not in there, there we go. The next one we have is a whole step. And we're gonna think of this as 1.0. And this sounds like do, re. These are all the intervals going up. The next one we have is a minor third. And this is 1.5 steps. It sounds like Iron Man. Dun, 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 dun. The next one we have is a major third. And this is 2 whole steps. It always sounds like spring. Bum, 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 ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, dun, dun, da-da-dum. Then we have a perfect fourth. Perfect fourth, meaning it's not major or minor. It's just called a perfect interval. If you raise the perfect fourth a half step, you're gonna get an augmented fourth. If you lower a perfect fourth a half step, you're going to get a diminished fourth, which is also known as a major third. But in the context, it would sound not like a major third. It would sound weird to the ear. So the next one is 2.5 steps. And this one sounds like Here Comes the Bride. The next one is a tritone, which would be 3 whole steps. We're not going to do that. We're going to be doing a perfect fifth next. Perfect fifth. So we're going to skip 3 whole steps and call this 3.5 steps. And this one is Star Wars. Bum, bum, ba, 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 bum, bum. Okay, so these are all of our intervals that we're going to be practicing singing today. And these are all the intervals. This is the song for all of the intervals if you're going up. For example, da, da, da. Oh yes, my fix for toilet paper. For the people in the future, like 1,000 years from now, this is the time of the coronavirus. And so we're all, like the whole world is quarantined for like 2 weeks. And so there's this like mad rush for toilet paper and people are fighting over toilet paper. The answer is yes, I have plenty of toilet paper, thank you. I hope you do too. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and grab our tuner and we're going to put the sound option on. It can be any pitch. This is a B. So let's see if we can find this pitch. La, it could be higher, the higher version, it could be the lower version, it could be the lower version. I can't sing that low, doesn't matter. La. Now can you sing Jaws from there? La, 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 la. Can you sing that with me? Sing it with me. La, 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 la. It helps if you make a scary, la, la. It'll help you with that. Okay, now the next step is to use the tuner function. So let's see. It's not gonna be perfectly in tune because I'm not a singer, I promise. La, la. It's pretty close. La, la. Oh, that was very, very good. Very, very good. Can't promise that I'll do it again. La, la. Oh, I'm good at singing a C. So why are we doing this? It's because, like I said earlier, we have to know what it sounds like in here first. That way, when we bring it out with the instrument, we can make it come out correctly. So we don't have the luxury of having piano keys, right, that are already in tune. We have to make those notes ourselves. So being able to hear correctly a half step, for example, or a whole step, or any of these, especially half and whole steps, because all these other intervals are made out of these building blocks, these 2 building blocks. So we really, really have to be able to hear these ones well. And our hand pattern has to be chiseled out to really be able to play all of these intervals. And all of these intervals right here can be played on 1 string. That's those hand pattern exercises that we've been doing on Patreon. Go to Patreon. It's Violin Viola Masterclass at Patreon or something. Patreon.com/Violin Viola Masterclass. It's $1 to subscribe. You can go through all of these hand patterns with me. We've gone through all of the intervals as well. But anyway, what was I saying? Okay, so that's the half step. All right, let's go ahead and, oh hi, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and sing a whole step now. All right, the next one. Do, re, mi, do, re, mi. So I'm gonna just find a pitch. Last time we did B. Let's find a different one just for practice. This is a G sharp. La, can you guys find that pitch? Sometimes it's hard to find the pitch. You can also use your instrument to find the pitch. La. Hi, thank you so much. Love you too. So glad you're here. Here, sing this pitch with me. La. Okay, now from this note, we are going to sing do, re. You can finish off the song do, re, mi if you want. This is a whole step. Do, re. You can use your hand as well to help you. Do, re. It does help singers do this all the time. Do, re. Okay, I'm going to turn the sound off and go to the metronome function. Do, that's pretty good. Re. So if I sang a G sharp, a whole step away from G sharp is an A sharp, also known as a B flat. So do, G sharp, re, B flat, also known as A sharp. So that's a whole step, okay? Can you guys sing that? Yes. Hey, Natalia, I'm thinking of you because you're the singer. I hope you help us, send us singing vibes. Okay, so that's our whole step. Let's do a minor third, okay? So we're gonna sing the song Iron Man. We're gonna find a different pitch. Here's an F. La, that's pretty low for me. I'm gonna sing the higher version of it. La, can you find this note? See if you can find this note, sing it with me, la. Now, we're gonna sing Iron Man. I am Iron Man. I'm not sure what the words are, but anyway, let's say that those are the words. La, la, You can also use What Child Is This? Or Greensleeves. La 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 la. So sing it with me. La, here's our pitch. Here's a minor third. Hey Michael. Mwah, lots of love. Sing that minor third with me. F, and then we're going to A flat. Is it an F? Yeah. F to A flat. Okay. So now I'm going to use the metronome function. F, there's an F, and we're looking for an A flat or a G sharp. It's the same thing. Oh, my pitch is so good today. It's so good. La, la. Okay, you better be paying attention because I'm going to quiz you at the end to see if you can hear some of these pitches, right? To hear some of these intervals, I should say. What we're not trying to do at the moment is trying to hear a specific note. So for example, if I was to sing la, and I was like, what note is that? I'm not trying to get you to hear that. I'm trying to get you to hear the distance between la, la, and hearing, oh, that's a minor third. Or la, 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 which is a half step. Because we need to hear all these things in our inner ear so that when we play our violin or viola or whatever instrument, you can bring that out and hear it correctly, because we as musicians are guided by our inner ear. It's so important that that's, solid. So we have little tools in our toolbox like hand patterns to help us chisel out those and keep them, repeatably, able to play them repeatedly. But anyway, hope that's making sense. Let me have a little sip of tea. Okay. So let's go on. We've got a major third, perfect fourth, and perfect fifth left to hear, okay? So a major third is 2 whole steps. It sounds like spring, right? So let's find a note. By the way, Vivaldi Spring, bum 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 ba ba bum ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum da da dum da da dum dun 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 dun. Right? Have you heard that before? It's very famous. You should know it if you don't. If that doesn't sound familiar. Bum bum. So let's find a pitch. Let's just find another one. This is a D. La, can you find a D? See if you can hear this note and sing this note. La, la. Okay, now from here, we need to hear the song Spring. Bum, 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 ba, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum, 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 ba, ba, bum. Let's see if we can sing that together. Bum, bum. Let's use our hand to help us with that step. We're going up 2 steps. So bum, 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 go up 2 steps, bum. Okay, let's see if we can do this with the tuner. So I'm listening for an F sharp. Here's a D. La, there's a D. Bum, bum, there's an F sharp. I'm like so in tune today. It's so great. Bum, D. Go up 2 steps to F sharp. There we go. Can you guys do that? Here, listen. Okay, so that was our major third. Let's go ahead and play or sing a perfect fourth. Our next one is a perfect fourth, which sounds like Here Comes the Bride. So let's find another pitch. Let's see. Here's an A. That's a bit high. Here's an A. So A. Listening for Here Comes the Bride. Dun 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 dun. Here comes the bride. Bum. Can you find this pitch? And here's the other pitch. So if we're listening for an A, we're listening for a D for the next pitch. Here comes the bride. Here comes the bride. Da-dum. Okay, now we're gonna check it and see if we can sing in tune. A, here comes the bride. D, I'm pretty sharp on that. Am I sharp? It's hard to see, I'm backwards. La, la. Okay, so practice that. The last one we have is a perfect fifth, which sounds like Star Wars. Remember, we're skipping that tritone in there. Why? It's because that's a pretty tricky one to sing. So we're gonna skip that. We can come back to it. You can practice singing. I don't even know if I can sing a tritone. Let's see. Da da. It's the scary Here Comes the Bride. Here comes the bride. Da da. Half step higher. Da da. That's the tritone. Do you hear? Against that, it's very dissonant. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to summon the devil. It's known as the devil chord. But you know what's funny is that tritones are used all the time in music. Bach loves tritones. For example, I don't have my bow over here, but so when they resolve, oh, thank you, thank you. Do you hear the beauty of that? This is from the first prelude, the cello suite. That's a tritone, but when it resolves a half step up, it's really pretty. It's probably out of tune. So the cello suites are full of tritones, full of tritones. Okay, we're almost done. Let's go to a perfect fifth. Let's see, let me find a sound. We're gonna find a different note. Let's see. Here's a C. Can you find a C with me? C, la. Now you can think of this as Star Wars. Bum, bum, ba, 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 bum, bum. It's the opening to the IMAX theme. Bum, bum, ba, 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 bum, ba, ba, ba. Just think of the minions singing that. Bum, bum. It's a very important interval in music, a perfect fifth. You must know this interval. Bum, bum. It's just as important as a whole step or a half step in my opinion. Okay, so let's practice. So why don't we try a different pitch? Oops. Can you sing me an E? La, la, sing me an E. Now we're gonna hear Star Wars. Bum, if that's too high, bum, bum. I can't sing lower than that. It's out of my range. Anyway, okay, now let's see. What we're gonna do is find a B, E to B. It was literally Black Sabbath and yes, Rolling Stones, and that, like, oh my gosh, it's fading away, it's fading away. I wish the comments lasted longer. I read really slowly, so I read one word at a time. I don't know why. When I'm reading a book, I can read really fast, but for whatever reason, the comments, it's probably just my brain's slow. I think my brain is slow reading comments. But anyway, we're almost done. Here's let me see, what note were we on? E to B, that's a perfect fit. Bum, 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 bum. Yay, ciao, ciao, ciao. Good, I'm so glad. So, you guys, what you should do, I'm gonna hold this up and I want you to take a screenshot of it, okay? So I'm gonna count to 3. Take a screenshot of this. I'll smile in the picture for you. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. And what I want you to do is you're gonna grab your tuner this week while you're sitting on the couch and you're bored and you're doing nothing. Grab your tuner. You're gonna use the sound function to try to give you a starting pitch. It doesn't matter what note it is. Just try to sing your half step. Da dun da dun. Sounds like Jaws. Bum 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 bum. Okay. Whoops, that's the metronome. Then the next option is for you to use your tuner. Now this one's a little trickier because you need to know what note you're trying to get. So if here's a bum, whatever note that, what note is that? Oh, it's on a different function, sorry. La, so here's an E, I need to hear an F if I'm hearing a half step. Okay, so probably what I should do, there's one more thing I need to leave you with, and that is a tool to help you know what note you're looking for. So I'm gonna erase this. 1, 2, 3, take a picture of it. Take a picture. Okay, I'm erasing it now. I'm erasing this, and we are going to learn all of the notes that possibly exist, okay? All right, so let me grab my pen. Okay, now pretend that we're looking at a piano, all right? Actually, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that we're looking at the piano, because some of you I know don't play the piano. What we're gonna do is we're going to start on an A, and we're gonna go all the way up the stairs until we get to the next A. Our alphabet starts on an A, that's why we're starting on an A. We could start on a C, it really doesn't matter. We could start anywhere, but what we're gonna do is put in all of the natural notes. So that would be, for example, on the piano, all of the white keys. Okay, so we're starting on an A because our alphabet in English starts on an A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, now I'm gonna switch colors, and there are some notes in this little sequence that are already a half step. Everything else is a whole step. Okay, so let me find a different color. I'll use my black one, okay? So B and C are always a half step. Here, let's find a B. Here's a B. So here's a half step. Bottom. Let's check it. La, B. Oops, sorry. B, half step higher is a C. Da, da, sounds like Jaws. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, do you believe me? Now the next one that sounds like a half step is E and F. So let's find an E. Where's E? E, let's listen for Jaws. E, F. Let's check it. E, F, E, F, E, F. Sounds like Jaws. Okay, so everything else is a whole step, which means that it's gonna sound like do, re, mi. Okay, so I'm gonna switch colors. Switching colors. Let's see, what color should I use? I'm gonna use this color. Oh, this was open. This is probably out of ink. Let's see. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna put in all of the other notes. So on the piano, these would be the black keys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line between all the other notes, because there is a note between all of the other ones. There's a half step between all those other ones. Okay, so here's our black piano keys. Okay. And there's actually two potential names for these keys. They could either be the sharp version or they could be the flat version. It's called enharmonic. E-N harmonic, enharmonic. Okay, let me have a sip of tea. Okay, so if we're gonna go up, we're gonna call it a sharp. If we're gonna go down, we're gonna call it a flat, all right? So if I go up this way from A, if I'm going up, right, the alphabet, if I go up, I'm gonna call this an A sharp, okay? For this exercise, right? If I go down from B, I could call it a B flat. If I go down from B, I could also call it an A flat. It doesn't matter. I could call it a B flat or I could call it an A flat. They're the same note. When you're looking at music, composers will choose to use an A flat or an A sharp or a B flat, depending on what interval they're trying to go for, what like function it has in the chord, because the chord is very important. And the way that it visually looks on the staff is really important too, because you can make your life really complicated by adding all of these weird accidentals. For example, I could go up the alphabet, I could say this is an A, this is a C flat for B, this is a B sharp for C. They would still be like a B and a C, but I would be notating them in this weird complicated way on the staff. So for the reader, And for the person that's trying to understand the harmony, it's just gonna be like convoluted because it's just not gonna make any sense. Unless you're trying to be complicated, you're trying to cause problems for those, you know, musicians who are trying to read things, or you're like a crazy 21st century composer, right? You're just trying to be complicated and different. I'm just kidding. Okay, so the next one we have, the next black key we have is a C. And then in between C and D you have this black key, right? So if I go up, I could call this a C sharp, but I could also call it a D flat. If I go up from C, I could call it a C sharp or I could call it a D flat. It really doesn't matter for this exercise. If I go down from D, I could call it a C sharp or I could call it a D flat. It really doesn't matter. I just want you to know that there's two potentials that you could call this, okay? So the next one, we have another black key between D and E here. So I could go up, I could call it a D sharp. If I go down from E, I could call it an E flat. Okay, did you get that? Did you get that? So the next black key we have is between F and G. If I go up from F, if I go up a half step, I have an F, what is it? F sharp. If I go down from G, I could have a G flat. Did you get it? Did you guys get it? Okay, we're almost done. The next one that we have is between G and A. If I go up a half step from G, I have a G sharp, right? Did you guys get it? And if I go down from A, I have an A flat. Okay, so these are all of the notes. We're missing some though. There's no black key between these half steps. But if I decide to raise B a half step and I still want to call it a B, I'm going to call C a B sharp. A B sharp is also known as a C natural. Vice versa, if I go down from C and I still want to call it a C, I could call this B a C flat. Okay, if I go up a half step from E, I could call this an E sharp. Or I could call, if I go down from F a half step, I could call E an F flat. So now we have all of the notes in music that possibly exist. These are all of the notes in music. Okay, so take a screenshot of this. I'm going to hold this up for you and count to 3. Uno, dos, tres. Take a screenshot. Okay, so now you have all of the notes that exist, right? You can figure out with that little chart that we had before what note you need to get to. You have, let's say you need to go up a half step. You found the note A and you're singing A, whatever note A is, that's the B I'm singing. Anyway, and then the next one, go up a half step, da, da. You should be looking for an A sharp or a B flat on your tuner, right? If you're trying to sing a whole step, here, let's just find an A. Or here's an E, okay? Here's E. If I want to go up a whole step from E, do, oh my gosh, bye Michael. Lots of love, thanks for being here. If I want to go up a whole step from E, I need to listen for do, re, do, re. So with the tuner, do, here's an E, do, re. I'm listening for an F sharp, and you can see it's right there for you, all right? If I have a minor third to sing, it's 1.5 steps. Here's an E, right, E. Now I need to go up 1.5 steps. So from E to F sharp is a whole step. F sharp to G is a 1.5 steps. So from E to G, and I'm gonna listen for Iron Man. So E, G, da, da. So that's now how I can find, you know, what note I'm looking for. We're gonna go through a couple more. So if I need to find a major third from E, right, I need to go up 2 whole steps. E to F sharp is a whole step. F sharp to G sharp is another whole step. So E to G sharp is a major third. So here's an E, bum, bum. Oh my gosh, Peter, yay. I'm so glad you're here. Now we're singing thirds now. So E, G sharp, bum, 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 bum. You see, now you can check your pitch. All right. You can also, you can also use the sound function. E, G sharp, E, G sharp. So your metronome is your friend. It really is your friend. So get comfortable if you can singing these intervals. And then at some point when we do another live stream and we look at chapter 2 in this lovely book, we will be able to try singing some melodies, okay? So I'm going to love and leave you guys. Let's have a little sip of tea. I am so happy that you're here. I just want to ask you for a favor. You know, when I do these live streams, I have to turn off the function. In order for us to do the chat, I have to turn off the child-friendly, advertisement-friendly function on these. So basically that means they're not being shared. They're not being like shared out into the world. And so if you find these videos to be helpful, please post them on, post them on your story, on your Instagram story, post them on Facebook, share them with your friends or your family. If you have somebody that's studying music, please do that, because they're not really getting out there into the world, and it's important for me to have the live stream function. So in order for me to do that, I'd rather do that than, not have that and have, YouTube share it and be able to have ads and all of that kind of thing. So thank you for doing that. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Patreon at Violin Viola Masterclass. It's $1. It's $1 to subscribe there. And there's all these videos there that are there for you if you need extra help on your musical journey. And I post a little video lesson, 5 to 10 minutes. Sometimes they're longer. Video lesson every Monday there for you. So please do that. Help support me. And I will see you next Friday. Seems like our live streams are on Fridays now. And, let's see what else. I'm also trying to, you're right, that makes sense. Yes, half steps, whole steps, music theory, yes, okie dokie, yes, great. Good, thanks, Steve. So I'm also going to, I don't know when this will start to happen, but I'm going to start posting 2 videos a week at some point. One video is not going to be a live stream. You're welcome, you guys. The other video is going to be a live stream. So our live streams will be on Fridays, it seems like, and then there's going to be another video during the week that I'm going to start to post. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but in the future that's kind of my goal. That one I am going to put ads on, and hopefully it'll be more like shared into the world so that people can find this channel. So yes, I want you guys to have the most fun you possibly can today. Make that your intention for the day. You learned something, and it's a great opportunity to just go have fun in like the smartest, best way that you can, right? So have an uplifting intention for yourself today. Go have as much fun as you can. And it's a beautiful day here. Actually, well, it's raining, but I love rain. So I'm gonna go see my friend, hopefully, or at least talk to her. We'll see about that. And yeah, a bikini show for all of the viewers, and like we'll spread that around YouTube. No, I don't think so. That's funny. We could have a tea show, where I show you all of my tea. We could talk about that, All right, you guys. Mwah. I'm gonna love and leave you. I'll see you next week, okay? Bye. Bye-bye. Bye, Michael. Bye, everybody. Bye, Sylvia. Bye, Peter. Bye, you guys. Bye, Lano War. Yay. Hook and Saw. Bye. Love you guys. Mwah. See you on Friday, okay? Bye-bye.